This time on Finnegan's Garage, a banger of a video, 3 days of drag boat racing on the Colorado River, and the whole thing is brought to you by the good folks at WireCare. If you're just joining us, this is a carbon fiber Cheyenne jet boat that I bought last November after selling Game Over, my 711 cubic inch twin turbo Hemi powered jet boat. I sold that boat and I thought I was out of the game. And then this unicorn popped up for sale from the LeCamp family, who are legends in the drag boat racing world. And I just was like, what the hell, let's go racing again. And so I bought it, I flew to California. The boat had sat around for a few years, jumped in it at the NJBA national event, and it went okay. You know, I made a few good laps during qualifying, and then the wheels just fell off, and the boat practically, didn't sink, but that's what it felt like on Sunday, which was race day. Nothing went right, the boat wouldn't go down the track, and so over the course of the winter, we have done a whole lot of detective work to try to figure out why this 632 cubic inch naturally aspirated big block Chevy wouldn't run good enough to propel the boat down the racetrack. We think we know why. We think we had a fuel system issue. We definitely had a fuel pressure regulator that was malfunctioning because the diaphragm had gotten hard over the course of several years of just sitting there not being used. We had some broken valve springs. We had intake gaskets that were blown out, so the motor was milkshaking itself. We had all kinds of little issues. All of that has been corrected. The question now is, will the boat go down a racetrack again? And so we're here in Parker, Arizona to find out. We're at the Arizona Drag Boat Association's Southwest Showdown. We've entered 2 classes. One of them is a 1,000-foot long bracket race, which the index is 6 seconds. The other class, and the one I'm really excited about, is a heads-up 8th mile grudge race. Any kind of boat, any power plant, bring whatever you've got. Who can get from A to B, 1/8 of a mile quicker than the other guy. Tomorrow is test and tune, then Saturday is qualifying, Sunday is race day. All of this coverage, which there will be 2 short videos and then a longer one later on, the whole thing is brought to you guys by WireCare. And WireCare is a company I've worked with on Finnegan's Garage for years. They make everything to wire and plumb your hot rod, your muscle car, your drag boat, your sewing machine, whatever you need. Their stuff is probably on the space shuttle. We're talking shrink tubes, zip ties, the tools to hydraulically crimp stuff, Deutsch connectors. They have the best of everything. I love their products. One of the changes we made to this boat was actually adding a charging system, because before it just was a 16-volt battery running the engine. There was no alternator. So in the off season, we installed an alternator. We're gonna put together a charge wire so that the alternator can charge our 16-volt battery. And I think that's gonna help overcome one of the issues we had the last time we were out, which was low voltage. So right now I'm gonna take the valve covers off, and that'll give me access to the rocker arms, the valve springs, the push rods, that sort of thing. And then what I'm gonna be doing is inserting feeler gauge between the tip of the rocker and the tip of the valve. And I'm looking for clearance there, basically. You have to have clearance there so that the valve can shut all the way as the engine rotates. And this engine got refreshened by Mike Miller of Mike Miller Racing Engines. The base timing got set, the valve lash got set. The rockers have not been adjusted or checked since the motor got briefly fired up before it came here. Now we need to actually make sure it's all right, because It would be a damn shame if one's just misadjusted and we went out there and just, you know, went for a rip. That would be bad. This camshaft has a lot of lift, has a lot of spring pressure. All these things need to be right to keep from, but there is some, a little bit of condensation, but maybe it never got hot enough to burn all that off. Okay, I'm not sweating it yet. All right, here's the pit crew for the weekend. This is Joe Cole. This is Austin. He helped us pit the last time we had all the problems, but don't hold that against him. It's not his fault. And he's racing. He has his Cheyenne here this weekend, and maybe we're gonna end up in the same class?
Maybe.
Maybe not. So.
Is this a Ford Chevy thing?
Yeah, Ford versus Chevy.
Oh, that's right. He has the handicap of having a Ford engine in his bed.
Yes.
Which means you need a root extra for him. He's on the struggle bus. There we go. So it's 15. Where are we? Number 1 exhaust. No, it's loose.
Oh, we wanted 13 hot.
Yeah. And the intake was let me double check it, but the intake was 8. There we go.
Well, that's the problem when you set these damn things. By the time you're done, it's cooled down and changed.
Yeah, that's why I always do them cold, because I can't get around it fast enough to do them warm. I'm not that talented.
Mine are anywhere between 5 and 10 on mine.
All right, so that's 8 and 15. Let's check the other ones. Oh, too far.
You were right there, dude.
I got greedy.
Yeah, you did.
I got greedy. This isn't much further off than he said it should have been, so I'm not going to adjust it.
I'll button this side, go to the other side.
Okay. So just reset all the rockers, tightened up all the valve lash, everything's happy. We're now priming the motor. We've taken the belts off the dry sump external oil pump, and Joe is spinning it with a power drill to prime the complete oil system. So we're getting oil to all the main bearings, rod bearings, all the tips of the push rods, cam bearings, everything's getting oil now. Then we'll fire it up and hear it for the first time since last season, because if you recall, the last time I drove this boat, it did not run good. Go for it. Good. Sounds good. Sounds much happier.
Smoking. What's up? Smoking. Alternator? Is it the belt too tight or is it the wire?
Wire's not hot. Maybe it was the belt. Boat sounds good. Motor sounds healthy. New alternator is smoking. It's a little weird, you know? And it's not smoking from the wiring. It looks like it's coming out of the case. So we might not have a charging system this weekend. But we've already proven we can get through at least 2 days of racing without a charging system. And if we keep the battery charger on the boat in between rounds, it'll probably be all right, but it would be great to have a charging system. It's been an exciting couple of months. Haven't driven the boat since November, and the last time I drove it, it didn't go so good. But I'm a little nervous right now because I'm reasonably sure it's gonna work, but until it actually does, I'll be nervous. And I won't lie, the wind is definitely making me nervous. I don't think I'm gonna make the whole trip. I'm probably just gonna go a few hundred feet and get out of it until the wind stops blowing at me. I doubt we're gonna make full passes. All that money I spent over the winter, baby, worth it. Worth it. All right, so test and tune pass number 1 was just resounding success. Not only did the boat make it from the starting line to the finish line, but it ran really good. It ran a 4.11 second pass to 660, which is good. That's the one class we're in, which is heads up. And then we ran a 589 to 1,000 foot, which is pretty good for this boat. And I think there's a little more ET sitting there in the whole shot that we can play with. But more than anything right now, the boat runs fine. We're gonna pull valve cover, make sure there's no water in the oil. And if there's no water in the oil, that means all the gremlins in this motor are fixed. Okay, so we have a motor milkshake happening again. We caught it pretty early though. You know, we only made one pass, so it's not awful. But we do need to change all the oil, and we need to figure out a new way to lower the water pressure in the motor. So I think what we're going to do is replumb the water system to lower that, probably restrict the water from the jet drive going into it, change the oil, and we're not going to run the boat again today. But if we can fix it before tomorrow, that'll be good.